See what's going on there. You know what? I'm going to start off the stream with a cigarette. Should I? What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. So, you know, this is Dainks Daily Trades, episode 19. God damn, man, there's been a lot of day trades, and you know what? I just want to take a few moments out of your time just to say thank you to every one of you guys. You guys have been amazing. It's been about a month since I've actually done the stream itself. This whole setup of Dainks, Dainks, Trader Dainks Corner, and whatever and whatnot. 842 subscribers. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much, every single one of you, new subscribers and even the common ones, the ones who are regulars. You guys really pushed me to where I am today. Alhamdulillah. So I just want to say thank you so much, because you know what it is. I'll be honest with you. I may be a trader and whatever. I can do my own thing, X, Y, and Z. But the fact that I come on every single day for you guys, and you guys are always there every day, it's freaking sick. I mean, like, look, we got the common ones here. Shout out to Ammar. Ammar's here, man. I know he's working as well. Assad, we got Assad's my brother. Do me a favor. Assad is Crypto AM17. There's a big. Show him some love on Twitter. Follow him on there. He's always got some good setups as well. Good kid as well. We got Valentine. Here's another regular. Kenneth, what's going on, brother? The right way. It's always the right way, man. Evening from where you are, brother. Where you at, man? We got Derry. Morning. There's no need to put a sad face there, Derry. Come on. It's all good. We had a good week yesterday. Well, a good day yesterday. Bam Bam Bitcoin. What's going on, brother? Baronto. We got Rolf. Rolf is always here, man. Rolf's a freaking sick guy. David's here as well. We got NJ in the house as well. He's another regular. Good kid as well. Shout out to NJ. Follow him on Twitter. He's got his YouTube page called ETH the Tech. He does his news and whatnot. He also does like analysis on technical analysis and whatnot. Good kid as well. We got Withrow in the house as well. Good to see you here finally as well, yeah? Bless you, man. I really appreciate that. Where are you from? Tell me where you guys are from, because I know there's a range of different people from different areas, and time zones can be a bit of a funky one. You guys got work, X, Y, and Z. So I just want to say thank you for actually, taking the time out of your day to, or even like an hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, or whatever you spend. It means a lot. It really, really do means a lot, and thank you so much for that. So before we get cracking into, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor. Alhamdulillah, I got my first partnership with Delta Exchange. It's another re-sponsorship as well. I was with them originally. Now I'm back with them again. So if you sign up on my link, my referrals in the description below here. And if you're on Twitter, it's actually already on the post itself. So you get 10% bonuses of up to $500 in deposit, worth of $1 or more in BTC, ETH, USD, XRP. I'd rather take the USDT, to be honest, because you gotta pay yourself. Bear market, so we play the market as it is, whether it goes up or down, X, Y, and Z. But these guys are quite great though. I mean, they've got a range of different coins over here, as you can see. They got the app on Google Play, App Store. You can download the APK on Android, X, Y, and Z. And that's what I'm going to be using for a bit as well, man. So shout out to these guys. Love to them for actually sponsoring the first episode of, my first official partnership. So that's that. Let's get cracking there. So let's set up. Before we go, so I have time, trade full time, and learn from your stuff. Oh, bro, we're off is 6. Singapore. We're first from Singapore. God damn, what time is it now? Like 2 o'clock in the morning. My cousin actually went to Singapore recently as well. It says it's beautiful. Sweden. So Sweden's Europe as well. So you're just like an hour, 2 hours ahead. Belgium, the same thing. Shout out to these guys. Cyprus. Yardi's from Cyprus, man. And then we got Bash from the USA. Damn, 5 AM. Dude, go to bed, fam. What are you doing here? Love to you guys, man. Oh, it's 5 PM. That's not bad. That's not bad. Alright. So, God damn it, man. I got that cough, man. That smoker's cough that's been bothering me since I went to Mexico. Alright, so let's get cracking. Actually, you know what? Before we get cracking, I actually want to go back to some of the day trades which you took yesterday. Alright, as a recap, alright? It's always good to do recaps. The reason why is that it's good for yourself and for me, really mainly for me. It's more like a journal kind of thing. I can go back to what I did right, what I did wrong, whether it's a good trade, bad trade, or I didn't get a trade, why I didn't get a trade, why did I not take the trade. There's a range of things you got to ask yourself. So, looking at the BTC short, as we did yesterday, this is the plan, right, as you can see. And I was saying this is the 50-minute block. We're finding resistance number 1, resistance number 2. And I did say to you yesterday, was this a stop run? We'll know if it's a stop run if we get back below the blue box underneath the this black line, don't know what the black, oh, it was actually last week Saturday's high, finds resistance, breakdown, target 1 I would say off this low here, target 2 on the weekly open, and I was looking how the reaction on the weekly open is, and target 3 will be back onto range low, which will be this area here. I think it's like 20.8k, something like that area, and lo and behold, boom, we did it. So I'm going to break this down with you guys so you guys can actually see what's going on, and and figure it out as well. And you can see the pattern. Look here on the 5 minutes. So this on the 5 minutes, right? It's really sharp. It's really sharp and quick, right? However, you can start breaking it down, because I had to look at it after the stream. Because what happened was we did a stop run over here. You see that wick over there, and we start firing resisting off the top of the box, and that's already an indicator. So okay, then we can play it from level to level, which is this high over here to this low over there, effectively, because it's a range bound environment, right? In a way, you can see it's a range bound environment. I wish I had a pen like SC does, you know, like he just highlights on his thingy, on his on this. Wow, that's that guy as well, man. We get him on the show too. But yeah, anyway, the moment we get back below it, and we don't really retest it, but we get below this black line, and to me, this was sufficient to say, okay, my definite risk would be up the blue blocks. Hard, and you can put a hard stop there if you want a bit of a wider stop. And I start targeting downwards. So we hit target 1, smash it, target 2, smash, and then target 3, we smash. And obviously, we do get below the range low. We'll go through that in a moment. And target was done, and that was it. It was a range bound play, and I was saying from this high here to this low here, and it's like quadrants. So that's a quadrant over here from this dotted line to the black line, right? That's 21.3k, and that's like 21.9k. Then it's from this black line here to this red line over here. It's another quadrant, and that's all I'm playing. That's how I play the range. Nothing else. I don't look for extended targets. This was actually a 4.1 hour trade. Bag, done, finish. I was done. I didn't care what happened next. Whether I was talking about liquidity, liquidity the other day, and it did take out a couple of liquidity. We'll go for that in a moment. So that's BTC done. What else? We did the Ethereum short as per stream, and this is the plan, right? And I was saying this is the block here, the last 15 minutes block here. And I was saying that if we can come back into it, retest it, or whatever, this was another range. You can see those lines over there. It's another range. The moment we step back below this blue line, what is this blue line? It's a range bound environment, and that's a mid range over here. This would be confirmation to go back lower to your, what you call it, weekly open, target 1, and target 2 will be the range low, taking out liquidity off here. You can see that, right, where I highlighted over there, and that would be the target. I did cut the trade early around this area, because what it was, let me show you. I'm just going to move my head over here in the corner for one moment, and I can just show you this for a second. So what happened is, I mean, we did hit target eventually, but I cut the trade quite early. I did say that on the tweet. It's a 2.6 hour trade, so that's 4.1 plus 2.6 is 6.7 hour. We bagged up there. So for example, if you just risk $100, right, you've just grabbed $670 right there off the bat, okay? So anyway, yeah, I was saying, yeah, come back in, retest, and it was a range bound effect. So I entered in once we did that rejection over here. I entered the rejection off here. My stop loss would have been up there, at the top of the blue box, because it's aggressive. It was aggressive, and I did say below the mid range, find resistance off here. Can you see that bit? Because that's the low. This bit here was the low. Find resistance off it. It's on the 5 minutes. Break down, right? And you can see it makes new lower lows, right? There will be confirmation. Definitive. That's the word. Definitive stop loss would be up this high over here, alright? But I place it over here because it's experience. You learn it as you go along, and I want you guys to understand what I'm doing and actually go back to it as always yourself. Draw it out yourself. These are blocks. These are all the blocks, bearish blocks. We'll go through that soon. I'll make episodes about that, and so you guys can use that in your own strategy. So yeah, hit over here. Took out target 1, which is 25%. Took out target 2, which is actually the weekly open, and then this consolidation over here, we started bouncing over here, and I was like, you know what, we could actually reclaim this weekly open. I'm gonna cut the trade, and that was it. And it was a 2.6 hour trade. I think the whole thing would have been about 3 hours, but I cut the trade early. I was happy with 2.6. Happy days. Move on. That's it. That's number 2. Number 3. What was going on? I need to hurry up because I think the market's moving quite nicely. Did Solana again? Same principle, as you can see. I was looking at resistance from this last 15-minute block here, resistance breakdown, mid-range, then we go to target 1, 25%, and then go for target 2 off this consolidation, target 3 off the range low, done. And that was it. It's a range bound environment, and lo and behold, we did it. Literally, you can see this is a consolidation over here. Break below, we got below the pin range. I entered in just like when we started showing, like, see this 5 minute candle here. We made a new low. Remember market structure I was talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to episode 5, Dainks Corner, and there's a chapter on bearish and bullish market structure. Just focus on that. Showing a bearish market structure, I was like, I'm entering here, definitive risk is over here, let's go. Target's done. Obviously we went a lot more lower to the next SR. I didn't really give a shit. I was quite happy with 2.1R trade. That's what, 8.8R done, right? 8.8R done. So again, if you risk $100 overall and you made 8.8R, that's $880. I don't know who's gonna give you that for free. I mean, I know my old boss wouldn't give me shit. This one here, AVAX, did a trade as well. This is more of a swing trade here. Breakdown over here, and it's all, you know what it is. It's just simple, man. It's just a simple game. Quickly, before I do that, I just want to know what AVAX is doing. Now I'll just discuss that quickly. USDT. Yeah, it's coming back up. Is it? I mean, I'm still in the trade. This is more of a swing play. I might have to cut the trade soon, but we'll explain that in just a moment. 1 hour. Bring you back into over here. There we go. That's it. That's more like it. Cool. Now we'll see over how this reacts, because this is an SR. I'm going to talk about this just for a moment, actually later. But going into it, I did bag up a 1.5R trade. My stops are broken. It's brought to break even. So I was saying, find resistance. The breakdown from the bounce off there, that'll be confirmation. You can enter here, definitive risk over here, and then working it down level to level, right? I did have this low over here, but then I actually did an SR afterwards. I posted it up after, and I bagged up 1.5R, taking the initial profit. Stop is broken at break even. Actually, let's do it quickly. Yeah, so that's target for me. I actually end up moving my target 1 over here. Target 2 is over here, right? And I'm making it slow. I'm making it a bit more. I'm taking profits as I go along. The importance of this is that I'm bagging it up. My stop loss is actually break even, to be honest. So if he does stop me out for whatever reason, I don't care. I know I've bagged profits over here. Now, I'll cut the trade if we come back and hold this. Because then to me, it's like, yo, you know what? It's going to be a bullish market structure. I'm going to come back to this blue box over here. And then we'll see if we break above it and go up here. Alright? So, I'm still in profit. I'm still in the trade on this one. But happy. If this start breaking down, right? And then if we get up to, like, for example, like this is another range bound environment. There. Consolidation. Back in the consolidation. If we come back to here, break down here, find resistance, I'll compound, go down to target. Oops. This is another set of target, and this is my final target, and that's the trade there. And then overall, it's I think it's like a 5 point something trade. Doesn't really matter, but you know how it works. So that's AVAX, and that's why I'm actually holding a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Okay, it showed me bearish market structure. Why? You can see high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Question is this I think a lower high to make a lower low, right? Or do we take out the stops over here and then make up a little more, then bounce off it? Which is why this SR is key, because you see resistance, smash above it, support, support. Yeah, we've got deviations, support, then we smash below it, resistance, and we're here at resistance. So this effectively, if you support, so you know, like SR is support and resistance. So if you're here at the SR, you expect it to hold as support. If you're below it, you expect it to hold as resistance. So the key is the same principle. I'm expecting to hold this as resistance, looking for a breakdown, and I will start compounding as we go a lot more lower to this area. Okay, that's the recap. All right, and yeah, let's smash out freaking Bitcoin now, innit? So what's everyone saying actually? Damn, this chat is going mad, isn't it? Smash the likes, everybody, man. Smash the likes. Love for you guys, man. Rafai's here again, brother. Walaikum salam. Valentine, he's what should I call it? Twitter's at Crypto AM17. Crypto Morning. I keep calling him Morning. But yeah, quickly see what's going on. Everyone's saying, Luke is saying, hello sir, how much do you think the upcoming GDP and Powell speech from tomorrow will affect the market? It's going to affect the market. It's going to affect the market, right? That's the honest truth. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to affect the market. Which is why it's going to be an interesting point, because you know what it is, right? It's this, like, okay, speaking about the GDP and what Powell's speech is look, the Fed is trying to bring down the rates in it. They're trying to bring down like interest. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know how they're doing it. So, but the hiking up the whole price. So we had QT before, and then like after QT we had QE. Yeah, QE right now. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. Freaking bouncing on my head and shit. And then what happened is, the problem is now is that interest is so high. You're looking at, I'll show you. So I'm gonna show you some alpha. So TRJ. That's the one. This itself, right, is the it's like a commodity index, right? And like I use this as a barometer to explain, to tell me what's the overall like commodities like index as well. Like this is what I'm using. So we've come down to a, I've done this on one of my Dainks daily trades. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's probably episode 2. I think it's episode 2. Yeah, or episode 3. One of them, right? Just go back to it as well. I did explanation on it, and then the whole thing's there. I'm not gonna really explain it because it does take a little while. But anyway, this is an SR, so you can see support, resistance, resistance, resistance. Again, it's resistance, so we're looking to come back to mid-range, right? Which means that prices are gonna come back down. They're trying. This is like they're gonna bring the interest rate lower, right? In my opinion, this is, and it seems to be working in its own way. Same time, you've got. Can you see that? Yeah, I mean it's broken down. I mean mid-range is going to be the next key in my opinion. At the same time, looking at dollar index is looking to break down. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Be very careful in my opinion. The key really comes down to this is to literally just trade off the days. Day trade yourself and scalping. I'm going to tell you something, and that's the honest truth. There's no such thing as swing plays right now. Right? The swing plays was up here. The swing plays were all here. This was an option to swing play back to mid-range, and the extended target would have been range low. This was another option for swing play back to range low. Now we've broken down, right? You see that fast move that we've had? It's such a thin fast move. It would have been difficult to catch that for a swing trade, in my opinion, unless you had, you had reasons for us to go lower. I was looking at this range-bound environment. Itself, and I was looking for possibly a break and hold and play, or resistance break and we start playing it down, going down this way. But instead on the daily, freaking shank the shit out of it. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, looking at Bitcoin, just at Bitcoin alone, just looking at this, how much what could happen? I mean, there's just a few things that could happen really. I mean, the speech could be good and we can go up, play up to here, and then we can go up there, right? Or the speech could be really bad, where it collapses back down and bounces off this block here. And then the question is, do we hold above it and come back to this? And then is that a deviation? Is that a retest to go lower? Or is it a deviation of the range and we can reclaim the weekly open and keep going up higher? Does that make a bit of sense there? So that's the few things we're going to work out. Because what I don't like at the same time in terms of a trade was this. If I show you, actually I can show you on the 4 hours, you can see it literally here. So I've highlighted it here for you guys so you guys can see it. You see this, right? You see that? And you see this. That's double bottoms. And there's going to be a lot of liquidity resting here and a lot of liquidity resting here. Liquidity means what? People placing their stops here, the ones who are going to be long in, okay? We're going to take these out eventually, right? It's going to have to be taken out. Which is I'm not a fan of, which comes down to this. If I were to do a rectangle, and I mean I could do it on the 1 hour. I think I can do it on the 1 hour. Yeah, here we go. There we go. That's it. And just do this. This is the last down move. Can you see this, guys? There we go. This. You know what? Let me squash this up a little bit, and then I'll just bring this over here. Cool. So, like I was saying to you guys, we've got liquidity resting here and liquidity resting here. This block here is what we call a bullish order block, right? It hasn't been retested, which is bugging me a lot, right? So it's the last down move on the 1 hour, which sent the market back up all the way from what, 20.1k to 21.9k, call it, yeah. So which is what, a good $1,800 move, right? Without retesting it, and I do suspect, right? I do suspect the fact that there's this whole Powell and Fed speech going up, GDP and whatever, and we could come back and bounce off this, and then, well, we can come back here, taking out liquidity here and liquidity there. I do suspect that. I'm not gonna rule that out. With day trading, you never rule out nothing out. You can't say we're bullish, you can't say we're bearish, you can't say anything. Day trades, you just have ideas and you're planning it there. Once the setup comes, the setup comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come, right? You just be patient. That's all it is. But saying that, once we come over to this blue box over here, the question next be, do we shank below it, find resistance, and then get lower below the previous all-time high? Or then we can short here, and that's the confirmation. Or do we do this? Or do we do something like this? Come back into this, takes out all this liquidity, bounce off it, hold above it, shows bullish market structure. Let's go, and let's go to this area here as target 1, and we see if we break down and show bearish market structure, and we play back down over here, or do we actually do something like this, reclaim, get above the weekly open, and let's go take out this liquidity over here, and we work our way higher and higher. Alright, that's what day trade is. I literally just showed you what someone who day trades do. It's literally just having a concept of ideas, different plans, different scenarios, and you're marking it out of different ways and what we're looking for. That's what you gotta do. Trading is pretty simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You overcomplicate it when you start thinking to yourself, yeah, you know what, we're gonna go down to that 10k. Bro, we went down to 10k, right? Look what happened, right? Price went over here, right? Let me just show this. Price went all the way down to what? What's the price? 17k? 17k. Bounce all the way to 21.9, 21.7, 21.9, and we're playing our way down there. At the same time, remember this is an SR, deviation, deviation, deviation. So it's tricky, but we could have played all this move here off a day trade and make so much money, bank so much. Look, I show you 10-hour trades there. If you just risked $100 overall over those 4 trades, you would have walked away with $1 grand. I know my job wasn't giving me $1 grand a day. I'll tell you that for a fact. No way. So you just gotta play it down, level to level. Does that make sense, sir? So that's it. Psycho's from Austria. Nice. I had a cousin actually went to stay over there for about 2 years. She loved it. She actually loved it there. Michael lives in the middle of Birmingham and Leicester. So like Coventry, basically. That's what you're saying, right? I used to work there in Sainsbury's, man, when I was at uni. Kenilworth. That's the area. Really posh area. A lot of posh people there. Asgard in the building. Good to see Asgard again. Power 4's here. Morning to you. Trader Engine went once a copy trading account. Listen, this is the copy trading account. What more do you want, my bro? You know? But yeah, Elizabeth says it. Show some love and hit the likes as well. Subscribe if you haven't. Georges is in the building. Morning to you. We've got Jay here. Jay is a freaking G, man. I love that guy. Any thoughts on GMT? Remind me towards the end of the show. We'll go for GMT. And how do you identify your SR so easy? It's experience, my bro. Honestly, Khalil, it's experience. I mean, it's what I would do first, right? Okay, education time, let's go. So I'd do something like this, right? So I go on the higher time frame, right? On like, for example, I work on the daily, for example. This is what I would say first, right? Go on the daily, and this is how you start narrowing it down to, and then like, well, not narrowing it down. You start making life a lot more easy for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it, let me have a cigarette. Right? I love teaching you guys, and I'm not reading a surah. Dude. Life is so much better when you're not here, bro. I love you so much, but my god, you irritate the shit out of me. 1 second, lads. And ladies. Okay. Windows that way, why am I blowing it this way? Yeah. So, I was saying, so Khalil asked a good question. How do you identify SR? I would advise people, if they want to start doing SRs, right, you start looking at high time frame first. Don't look at the 5 minutes, fam. Like, are you gonna pick an SR? Like, you're not gonna pick an SR. It's really difficult. There's too many candles here. It's a lot complicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, is your SR here? Oops. Is your SR here? Is your SR here? Is your SR here? Is your SR there? Is your SR there? There's too many SRs down the 5 minutes. Just like, keep it simple, my bro. keep it really simple. You can go on the weekly or whatever, you can go on the daily, right? And all you're doing is looking for where price is capping the market, right? So SRs, right? Obviously I've drawn it out here. You can do another example in a bit. You're just seeing that wherever the high or low is on the candles, what's capping the market is being SR. Look here. Resistance, resistance, deviation, get back below it, right? And then what happens next? We find resistance again, and we're back below it. So clearly that's an SR, support and resistance, which means if we reclaim this level, let me extend this a little bit wider. Mid. Yeah. Got on the 4 hours, for example, right? You start seeing it. Then on the 4 hours it becomes a little bit more choppy in it. But obviously, you can see that if we reclaim this level and hold above it, we can start saying this will be the next target there, taking out this high. That's an SR. Another SR, for example, you can use, for example, I actually had another SR. Was it this low here? No. It was. I can't remember what I did. I'm not going to try and search for one and then try and work it out. But yeah, here's another SR right here. This high here, that's an SR. You can see that's support and resistance. Deviation, resistance, resistance. If we reclaim and hold above it, let's go, Bob's your uncle. Alright? It does take a lot of practice. I would say practice a lot, bro. Just practice, honestly. Again, I've said this a few times, man. I'm looking to do like a session, not a session, sorry, like a series of like how to trade in SRs, ranges, blah blah blah, risk management and whatnot. Well, no, it's a lie. I didn't work on it yesterday. I was actually trying to work on my stream yesterday. With different dude, I'm trying to actually do this video editing stuff and trying to learn it on myself. I like doing this stuff. It's a little hobby for me as well. So when that's gonna come out, I'm gonna make it I've got notes, but there's a lot to do. So I'm gonna try and explain it as soon as possible when I can, and then upload it, and then we can ask all these questions and we can do all these examples and shit like that. Okay. So Joe said morning Joe. Luke, you're welcome, man. I'm happy to reply. I mean, the thing is, what's really nice is there's 40 people in the chat here. So when you guys ask questions, I'm able to answer them. When it gets to like 400, 500, it gets a bit tough. So use this time really, really well, okay? So Amar ask, does reaching liquidity stops usually results in deep price reduction, or can there be a bounce up? It can be anything. What I would say is, right, when liquidity is taken out, right, you always monitor it. So for example, on the 1 hour, right, we spent we haven't even got to the freaking trading session yet. We're just doing education right now. So look, for example, if price were to actually take out liquidity here, you wouldn't start longing or whatever. You just wait. Well, I'd say just wait and see what happens. Does it reclaim and show bullish market structure to go back up to here? And that'll be another trade to go back up. Or does price come down, finds resistance, takes out this? You just gotta have your setup. So what I would say, Amar, is as you're planning your trades, right? So look, we have plans, for example, taking out this liquidity coming over here. And I was saying, do we hold above it and go up, or do we get below it, find resistance, break down and go a lot more lower, right? These are the plans I've got. So when we take out this liquidity, I'm ready to go long or short on the motherfucker, depending on what the scenario is. You know what I'm saying? You always gotta, it's about preparation. I believe, in my opinion, I think about 80% of the work is preparation. That's what it is. Because the entry to get into a trade is the easiest bit. Because once you got your prep work, right, and you know what you're looking for, and you're waiting for price to react, and you know what's happening because you're watching it, then all you gotta do is just be prepared to enter because you've got your plan. So if price were to do this scenario, for example, right, I'm looking for price to get above here and hold, show bullish market structure. Those who don't know what bullish market structure is, go to episode 5 on Dainks Corner. The playlist is all on my channel, and there's a chapter saying about bullish market structure. Look at it, and it breaks it down. I broke it down there for you, man. And once it shows bullish market structure, we play the long game to SR1. That's target 1, and that'd be target 2. If price were to do this scenario here, then all I'm doing is, once we find resistance of here, I could enter here, for example, my stop loss above the blue box, right? Well, I can keep a wider stop loss, whatever you prefer, but this is how I play. I'm just telling you how I play. Or I can wait for confirmation to get below this. Once we start getting below here and find resistance, especially if we break down here and come and retest off this bounce here, this is my confirmation, to be honest, to go lower. And to go lower where? Liquidity over here. Target 1 will be there. Target 2 will be here. Target 3 will be here. What happens next, right, will be interesting. Do we take out this liquidity? Then this is where we start planning ahead of time now. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Amar raised a good question. And now he's making me plan the bearish scenarios. Let's do it. Alright? So then I'm like, alright, cool. So this is another level here. So I'm expecting if price to do this, I'm expecting price to come out here, here, and here. Alright? Capiche? Everyone understands? So when price comes down here, now my next question is, what happened? Do we hold above it? Show bullish market structure of this, for example. Let's just do this again. Oops. You guys see it? Yeah, there we go. Fuck. Right. Do we do, yeah, so do we hold above it? Show bullish market structure off this high. Then I'm like, alright, I can cut the trade off here, right? Because we're looking to go back into this and back into here, okay? For a retest. Or this price decides to do range bound, break down, show bearish market structure, and I can compound off this going a lot more lower. And then you start looking at, alright then, cool guys, where do we go for lows, right? This is actually, I'm showing you the bearish play. Then we start looking for liquidity again. It's all a liquidity game, right? So we can see, and I've done this before, right? This to me is, okay, let's do this now, okay. We haven't even gone to the day trade, man. We're just looking at freaking expansions over here. Is this the range low? I did have it before. This is the range low, this is the range high. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, I'll say that. Right? So then, let me expand this out here. Over there. And now, I've got a range bound environment over here. What is this range? As you can see, this low to this high. What's important about it? You can see, let's just zoom into it. Is that resistance at the 25% of the range. We get back above it, hold support, get to range high, hold support, come back down, deviates support, deviates it, get back above it, reclaim, and we go up high. Okay, so this is an important range play. So then once I'm working out these liquidities out there, out here, I mean, I think we're taking out this liquidity already. You know what? I don't know. I can't remember. So I'm just going to do a horizontal ray, which is important. This is the lowest point, so we're going to come back to this in a moment to see where we are. Then we start working out, okay, this is the consolidation of the area. I'm expecting price to come over here before it breaks down and take out this liquidity here. And then we see what happens. Does he hold above it and get back above, or does he break down and let's go a lot more lower, fucking shank the motherfucker down, we're going back to 12k, let's fucking put our bids there and shit and whatever. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's the bearish scenario of this whole breakdown, depending on this how this Fed shit goes. And look what happened. See that liquidity over here that I had? We haven't taken out liquidity there. Because you see where it wicks into? It wicks above it. But at the same time, we're holding this mid-range. So when we hold this mid-range, right? So you see how we hold above the mid-range? So support, we get back above, we hold support about range high. This is, previous ranges are telling me the whole story. The whole thing was just there. It's just literally, I've just got to read it, right? So look, price gets down to the mid-range, holds above, gets above, holds support, 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 and now it looks like we're turning over. It looks like we're turning over, right? So we're prepared for the turnover. We're prepared for the push out, breakout, and whatever, right? So we just play it level to level, and that's the bearish scenario of if we go a lot more lower, of going down a lot more lower. You know what I'm saying? So does that make sense there? And that's the prep work. That's pretty much my prep work that I've done, ready for the bearish scenario. Fuck's sake. No. Too much freaking lines in it. So I'm going to leave that there actually now. Now that I've done the work already, I'm just going to leave that there, because if it does turn out to be this is the trade, then I'm like, you know what, I'm ready. You guys are ready. You know what's going on. Alright then, let's go. Let's get cracking and see what's going on today. Time for some day trades, man. Joe's asking, the price segment looks similar to the actual one. Yeah, true. Psycho's right. Looking forward to the series, bro. Appreciate that, brother. Joe is saying, hi Dank, when you leave the Monday's range either above or below, do you move the individual SR or do you increase the week's range? What do you mean by that, brother? As God said, yeah, we just got resistance anchored BWAP from last high, tried to reclaim and unable to at the moment. Yeah, okay, let's just work this down. Time to get some work done, man, because we've just freaking sidetracked the motherfucker. And we're doing that GMT soon, man. Remind me towards the end. Don't worry, I got you, man. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave a note. Let me open up this, right? Slowly sticky notes, right? I've got it here. Can you see? I've got it here. So I'm not going to forget it. I'm going to leave it in the corner and we're going to do GMT later. Cool. So let's get cracking on this show. So what's happened now? What's happened yesterday? What's happened now? Right? We're looking at a BTC view and let's have a look level to level, see what's going on. Pardon me. So, yeah. Now we're... Jesus Christ, man. I'm just freaking... Chest is... Heart attack or some shit, man. I don't know. Anyway, who gives a fuck? So yeah, so we're on Tuesday. What do we do on Tuesday? Tuesday, we get Monday's range out. It's finally our friend will start telling us what's going on. So I can do this off the daily, for example, and look at Monday's range. Monday's range is here. This was this low, and the high is, well, we'll mark that in just a moment. Let's extend this outwards. Go on the 4 hour, go on the 4 hours. We'll start making it a bit more nine and need to and see what's going on. Right, coordinates over here. And the high comes in at 21285.48. Okay. Fuck off. That's wrong. The high doesn't come there. The high comes in, sorry. High is 21539. 21539. 39.85. The fudge am I doing wrong? Cancel. That's why. It's because this should be here. 21. Fucking stupid that was. 21539.85. Yeah, that's it. Now we refined it. Alright, so we can see what's going on here. Two important things over here. Well, three. Number one, we've got this range over here. This range over here. And all we've done, as you can see, if I were to remove that for a second, and I'll bring that back up in just a moment, remove that for a second, you can see we've done a deviation of the range, we step back in and we're looking to hold it. I mean, the 4 hours closed in 2 hours, we'll see how it goes. And if we get back below it on the 4 hours and it's below here, and this is all this was, just a deviation of that range, and then we need to start looking for shorts. We'll talk about shorts in a moment, but that's what it is, okay? That's number one. Now we've literally done a deviation of the range low, and we'll get above, we're above it. Number two, we're at the weekly open. All right, so the weekly open play is really important. The question is, do we get above it and hold the mid-range? As soon as we hold it, bullish market structure, then we can go up a little higher, which means when we're above the weekly open, we're bullish. When we're below the weekly open, we're bearish. Bearish for the week. Okay, so that's that. So we're at key resistance, a key area on the 4 hours, very, very key. So we need to monitor that out. At the same time, number three, which coincides together, look where mid-range is of that range. Basically weekly open. So we need to start working out what's going to happen. How do we play this game? Where is the confirmation? How do we play Monday's range, okay? I was looking at this last night, right? I was looking at it last night, before the weekly actually, the close was done actually. And I was seeing that price was making lower lows all the way down. And depending on which exchange you're looking, some has taken out the low, some hasn't, right? And I don't like that. I think that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Then we got, obviously I was sleeping and during Asia, we got above it and we smashed up into the range low and we come up to here. So already on the 1 hour, we're looking good because we're now above the mid-range. But at the same time, we've come up to this resistance over here. So you see this low over here. Yeah, that's it. So this is the first high that made the market there, and that's what's capping the market here. That's the SR. That's another SR. Again, for those who know how do you do that, you literally it's the freaking eye of the tiger in it. That's what it is. And you can see we get above it, hold support, we go above, shank it, and now we come at resistance. So because we're below this SR, it means that we could be bearish, right? So we're just gonna monitor it and how do we actually nail it a bit more tighter. Let me get rid of this, right? And now we need to see what the fuck is BTC doing. Okay. So let's mark out plans. 15 minutes, right? Let's have a look. All right. I don't want this SR. I'm gonna cancel it. This to me, right? There's this now. This is what I'm looking over here, right? This is another block, right? This is the last high on the 15 minutes to send the market down lower to go all the way down to make, you know, Monday's low. So the fact that we didn't come into it, right, which is kind of bugging me a little bit, which makes me think we can actually come and retest it. The question is, do we hold above it? Do we break below it? Bearish market structure. Let's go down to target 1 and see how we actually go. Then we go to target 2, target 3, target 4. Let me do this a bit more neater because I don't like that. That was really ugly. Freaking. That was just lazy work there. Sorry about that, guys. So it's the last high, right? That send the market down lower, right? So I said that we go high, we got down lower, and that's what it is. Price has broken market structure on the upside on the 15 minutes. You can see this is the last high, and you can see that price has actually got above it, and now we're above this blue box. This blue box, what is this blue box? It's actually basically this on the 1 hour is the hourly candle where price was actually acting as resistance, deviation, get above, and then we're holding as support, right? Then we got below it, resistance, now we're above it. It's just going to be a choppy area, call it a mean, whatever you want to call it, okay? So now we're going to start looking at this. We can do a scalp trade off this, right? Providing it gives the setup. Now the setup is this. You know what? I'm just going to actually change this and make this a block just temporarily. Rectangle. All this up there. And so yeah, this is now a block for me, okay? It'll be a proven block, right? If we come up here, finds resistance, break down, then we can start saying target 1, stop loss above the high over here, right? Target 1. See how we come down to mid-range. If we hold above it and start showing bullish market structure, cut the trade because we're going back up there, because then this is now become a supply and demand area over here. Or do we get below the mid-range, break down, that'll be target 2. And if we break down here, target 3, and I'm literally working it, this is a scalp, I'm looking at liquidity, I'm just taking out these liquidities here, 3, 4, playing it back to range low, right? And why am I playing back to the range low? Because the moment we get below the mid-range, right, that's confirmation, especially once we get below this high, this high over there, this is the real confirmation to play lower, right? So this is the real confirmation to play lower. Whatever the deviation was above the range higher, which will be this, for example, I'll bring my stop loss over here, and then what I'll do is I can compound the scalp going down to range to 25% and range low. That's the bearish play. Okay. Now the bullish play. A lot of people's going to start thinking is that, all right, cool. So we've got this, right? Is this? A lot of people's going to start thinking, well, hang on a second, Dank. We're above the mid range. So as long as we hold the mid-range, which is true, as long as we hold the mid-range, we can go a lot more higher, alright? Now, I'm going to relate to Ethereum because I have to look at Ethereum for a second as well in a moment there. Now, as long as we hold, you know, if we bounce back into this, right? As long as we bounce back into this, right? Maybe come into these highs over here. Let me do this SR. That's an SR to me. You see it? You can, I'm fucking sick, you know? Sorry guys, I'm just freaking sick. Oh yeah, it's an SR. Why is it an SR? This high here was resistance, 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 smash above it. Which makes me lean towards a more bullish side. But we can scalp it. It literally is a scalp play here. What I'm doing is, I'm looking for price to come back down here. The moment we hold above it, especially reclaim this area here, whatever the deviation was, that will be my stop loss over there, playing it back to where? This over here. That's target 1. The question is after, is do we get it back above it and hold it, because it now becomes the 25% of the range. We've got last week Saturday's high is going to be resistance, because you can see all this was resistance. I've done it before already. Then we play to this area here. This area here is going to be some sort of resistance. So that's target 1. I'd say target 2. Probably take profits over here. Target 2, and then if we hold above it, and do we take out Monday's high? Target 3. That's the play I'll be looking for. If this holds, and at any moment, if we break down, I look to cut the trade. At any moment. It's really, really important that we got to cut the trade at any moment, because it's a scalp play. Because we can actually make a scalp, and this is, if this plays out over here, it's literally a scalp play has evolved into a day trade. And that's the trade itself. The question is, after that, which might be had to come in tomorrow, is that if we do come up here, do we smash and hold above it, and then we can start playing these, and that's another player, it's another player taking out this high, range high, and mid range, and then we see if we go above and go a lot more high. Okay, that's the play we're playing. We're playing in Monday's range. We're focusing on Monday's range. That's it. Don't overcomplicate the shit. Don't have in the back of your head this plan over here, right, or this plan over here. Have it in your head, but at the same time, focus on this range here. Nothing else, man. Don't overcomplicate the shit. You're fucking making yourself, you know, giving a headache. I need another fucking cigarette. Yeah, giving yourself another headache for no reason. Okay, make sense? So Joe's asking, so when you leave the range, are you extending the range gaps higher or lower, or are you finding individual resistance supports for target? Now, literally, I play range, so this is my range, isn't it, right? So we've established already that this is Monday's range, okay? Because why? Monday's high, Monday's low. Price for the week is over here, all right? We're stuck in this range over here, clearly, okay? Because we're still here. It's price being capped by the low, and obviously we're capped by the high so far. When at any moment, right? Let's just say that we come down here and we take out this liquidity, and I was saying my target one is there. I've collapsed the trade over there. I finished the trade because it's a day trade. I'm not looking for an extended trade. I'm not looking for an idea for us to go lower, going over here. I don't have that in my mind. I'm just playing the level to level game. Now, if price comes up to here, now the question you've got to ask yourself, is this a deviation of the range? Because it is a deviation. If we get back into it and hold, then we have a new invalidation of this stop loss over here, playing level to level, right? 25% to mid-range. Or does price come over here and start breaking down, and then if it breaks down, finds resistance, then it's another short to play off another target. Having the mind of this in play or this in play. Does that make a sense? It's literally, I don't extend anything. I just look for, like sometimes if I'm at the desk, right? If I'm at the desk, what I do is this. I say target, like, you know, my stop loss is here, right? Sorry, my target is here. But what I do at times, because I'm actually watching the trade as it is, right? I watch how price go, because if price is going lower and start to break down, then I'm holding the trade. I've taken profits, but I'm holding the trade to go a lot more lower to milk a bit more of the trade. Or at any moment, like I said, if price comes back in and start doing this, start bullish price action, I've cut the trade the moment we reclaim this, for example. This to me is a deviation, and we're going a lot more higher. I can flip the trade from shorts to long. Okay? That's what it is. It's literally playing within the range, and that's it. Focusing the range. Don't start focusing too much. Because remember, I said to you in the last stream, right? There's liquidity resting here. Well, liquidity resting here, liquidity resting here, resting here. We've got liquidity resting here, and everywhere down all the way there. What is liquidity? I've told you before. It's basically where people are placing the stops. Okay? Now, just because price is taking out this liquidity, I'm not going to start focusing, oh, this liquidity here, this liquidity here, this liquidity here, and whatever. I'm going to start focusing on level to level play, because I've got to focus on this area. If I'm focusing on this block here, I need to focus on the idea of what is price doing over here. Once we take out this stop loss here, take the fucking profit. If you're holding on to a trade, you don't want to see this. I don't want to see this bang, and in like 10-15 minutes it's done. Stop you out, and you freaking all that you milked goes for nothing. It's just like spot trading. Most of us, right, 99% of us, and I'm going to be honest with you, right, and including myself, are in spot trades. We're actually holding some alts. I mean, I've added some alts, right? I'll be honest with you, I have added my alts. I'll talk about that in a moment. But a lot of us have held spot trades all the way from November when price was breaking down. None of us took profits. So if you're day trade, if you're leveraging, you need to take profits. It's the important thing. Because if you're not taking profits, right, even if price does this, for example, right? So we're talking about liquidity here and liquidity there. Even if price does this, I don't give a flying fuck if it's going lower. I know I've bagged this profit here. I'm done. There's always a trade tomorrow. There's always a trade in an hour's time. We can find trades. I don't give a shit if I was talking about, oh yeah, here we're gonna come back down. I don't give a shit if it does that in 15 minutes. Fucking spitting ashes everywhere, the motherfucker. Fuck's sake, I gotta stop smoking then, innit? Yeah, like I said, I don't give a damn if like it takes out all this liquidity in one 5-minute candle. What I do give a shit is, did I bank my profits? That's leverage play. The key is risk management and banking profits. If you're not taking your profits as you go down, This is why level to level is really important. The moment I hit my level, I'm taking profits. And I look at bringing my stops to break even. Because even if it does this, takes me out, if I enter here and I'm going short and it does this, I've no bank profits over here, starts me out, break even. I don't give a shit. Even if I made, like, if I risk $100 and I made $100, I made $100 freaking dollars in it. That's what it is. Do you guys understand that? So, as we're talking about BTC, look what's happening right now. It's actually going back down. So, we need to monitor two things. The mid-range, right here. It's going to be a bit tricky today because we milked out a really good trade on Monday anyway, yesterday. So we're going to see, do we hold and then do we go up higher, or do we do this? Do we come back down and this is the plan, right? And then we go up higher, right? And then we see we go up higher, blah, blah, all right? So that's BTC. Ethereum is an interesting one. Ethereum's a very interesting one. Guys, bear with me a moment. I do need to go to the toilet. I just need to go to the toilet. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to have a quick sip to empty this out as well. 2-minute break. Sorry. What's good, champs? Right, I'm back. Man, you know what? I went toilet in it, and there's a song that me, Trader SC, go back and forth a lot. But first, man, I'm not gonna play on the YouTube stream. I'll do that another time. But it's stuck in my head right now at the moment, and I'm gonna send that to him later. Got love for that guy. That guy's cool. Alright, so yeah, Ethereum. We're talking about Ethereum. Let's go on the 1 hour quickly. And we'll talk about what's going on here. What is this blue line about? And we can implement Monday's range, right? So this blue line here is, what did I do this for? 4 hours. It was a range. It was a range. Of what? I think it's a 1 hour range. You know, it's when you got so much shit in your head, right? You're just flying the motherfucker out of it. There we go. I think that's more like it. That's it. There we go. That's it. So this is a range, as you can see. So the range on this, right, is this. It's an SR as well, man. This is all in SR. This red line, you can see this red line is an SR. Find resistance, find resistance, find resistance. So which means if we come back into it, we either break down and go a lot more lower, or because it's resistance, or do we do this, break above and hold it, and that's the breakout plan. And let's go a lot more higher, targeting higher prices. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, that's a range that I've got here. Deviations, a lot of deviations, man. Nasty. Come back and find resistance off this 1 hour, come back in, find support, support, deviation, come back in. Okay, so that's one. So I'm gonna actually change this color because I need to focus in just a second there. So if I change this so I don't overcomplicate what's going on, let's make it black. Okay, we'll make it black. And at the same time, go on the daily, I'm gonna show you Monday's range and use the same story really actually. That's what it really comes down to. Monday's range is here, Monday's high, Monday's low is here, alright? And if I extend this, the low comes in at 1172, no, yeah, 1172.49. Okay, that's the range. Now I'm gonna put this blue. Blue, why? Because it's a daily range and I know what I'm talking about. Okay, black, why? Because it's less than 4 hours. I use different colors anyway. Why isn't elevator sound playing in my head? That's alright lads, let's see. So 4 hours, what's going on? 4 hours, as we can see, we had a stop run of Monday's range, or Monday's low, and we step back into it, back into this range low over here, and we're going a lot more higher. We're at the mid-range. We're at the mid-range of this black range that I showed you over there. Okay? Does that make sense? Same time, this is what we're looking at. Alright, so let's go on the 1 hour, see what's going on, and oh, fuck it, it's a day trade, let's go 15 minutes. Alright? Right then, so I have this level here. This is weekly open, okay? We're going to keep this over there because this is going to be an important key play for us to see what's going on. Same time, we have this. You can see this block. Remember the block here? This is what we based the trade on yesterday, actually. You see this block here? We're looking to come back to retest it now, alright? Because this is going to be a supply and demand area. I mean, could I nail this down? Not more tighter. I could nail it off here actually. It looks, yeah, it doesn't really matter. We'll talk about it afterwards anyway. So, or tomorrow, I think tomorrow, probably tomorrow. We'll see how it goes because it all comes down to what the price is doing. So, alright, so we're at the mid range, right? There's two things we've got. Well, three things. Number one, we talked about the range over here, which is the bigger range from previous time, which is going back all the spanning back to the 12th, the 13th of June, we're like 2 weeks ago. And then that's number one. Number two, which is we're back in the range. I mean, look, we can see support, deviation, get back in. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we are above. Let me remove this actually. Again, same thing. This is an Ethereum view. We are above the weekly open, and I was saying if we're above the weekly open and hold, it's bullish. Your definitive stop loss will be here for an expensive play, looking to go up there and then hold above and then get a lot more high. Okay. So above the weekly open is bullish. Oh, fucking camera and shit. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 moment there. Yeah, just give me 1 second, guys. I know camera and sound. 1 moment there. Cool, I'm back. You know what pissed me off about this camera? This is like an £800 camera I bought. 800 freaking quid in it, right? The battery is freaking shit, and I actually got spare batteries. I bought spare batteries from Sony. The ZV-1, these podcast cameras, quality is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But my god, it's fucking shit at the same time, man. Fucking waste, man. Anyway, where were we? We were talking about, yeah, the weekly open. So, somewhere above the weekly open, hold, right? We can start playing a lot more higher, right? Now, that's number two. Above the weekly open is good. As you can see, if this was a low, let's talk about market structure. So we got a high, let's do it from there. So we got the high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, price is taking out this lower high. The fact that we're taking this out, it shows me there's bullishness in here. Which is why we got to start thinking there's a potential play of us expanding on Ethereum. It does look quite good. Why does it keep cutting out? Do you know what it is? I don't know. The battery dies quickly. I've been using it every single day for the past well, month really as well. And I've heard the Sony ZV-1, they got a shit camera life, but the quality was probably the best on the market. So I bought it. I bought it in the, you know, with freaking bull market money, you know, which I didn't mind at the time, but it's pissing me off now at the same time, because I can't be buying batteries every 2 weeks just so you can actually hold like an hour and a half. But we'll figure it out when the time comes. But anyway, so yeah, we're taking that bullish market structure there. So it's saying to me, all right, cool. So then we got an opportunity to either come down here, right, wherever the pullback is, as long as, especially this weekly open hold, we can start playing this to these targets there. The confirmation will be above here, hold there, and let's go, right? And that'll be confirmation as a little scalp play and breakout plan as I discussed, above the SR there, and Bob's uncle, let's long and let's make the fucking move, okay? So that's the what you call it, the market structure there, right? Now, where is that? There we go. So let's bring in Monday's range. Monday's range, right? Look at what's happened there, right? So we start talking about Monday's range to tell us a story. We can see deviation, we get above it and hold a support, right? And then we smash above, we take out these highs there, which means that we're playing around the 75% of the range. At the same time, we're playing at the mid range of this macro range that we've got here, which is gone spanning back 2 weeks. We're looking for a pullback now. But did price bounce off something, right? You gotta ask yourself, like, if price is supposed to come up here, but it's not. But we're now back below this mid range. Did price bounce off another block, and is it causing a bit of an issue for us at the moment? And the fact is, it is. I'll show you where it is. The last high has sent the market lower. Look right here. Boom. Perfect. It's perfect. So this is actually right now. I mean, you can still short. You can short it here. I'll probably say my stop loss will be. 1 second, pick the brush. Stop loss. I mean, you can place your stop loss over here because if we get back above it. Actually, so there's two things actually. Right now, you gotta play it patient. All right. Don't risk it, because the first week you get into it, and the moment we break down, don't start being like, yeah, I'm entering the trade, stop loss here because Dainks said so. No, chill the fuck out. All right, just chill the fuck out. We're at two important levels here. Number one, mid range. Number two, we've got the 75% range on the Monday's range, because price could establish a support here, come back into this, take out this high here, and we've actually bounced off this, and then all at the same time take out Monday's high. Understand? Does that make sense? So you need to be very, very careful and don't enter in on a rush. It's 80% of the trade is literally your plan. You've got to have your fucking plan, otherwise you're going to get shanked, and you might as well stick a broom up your ass, man, honestly, because that'll be less painful than actually getting stop loss all the time. Right? So now we start refining things now. You gotta start looking at what the fuck we're gonna do, right? Now we've had the first high there. If I go on the 5 minutes, I'm refining this really, really tight now, okay? I'm looking for the initial bounce, right? I'm looking for the bounce. Is the bounce here? Let's just say the bounce is here. I'm just gonna plan it here for you guys. The bounce is here, which basically means from this high, we bounce back down and we're going back higher. And if we come into here again and start breaking down, right? To me, this is an entry with a stop loss above here, playing it down lower, okay? But where is the confirmation? The confirmation is once we get below this bounce and find resistance, then I'm like, you know what? That's my confirmation. I'm more safer. It's better to be safe. I'm more safer to enter this trade playing to target 1 and target 2, and that's the mid range. Right? That's the mid range of Monday's mid range, and then we can see if we can actually extend it to target 3 and maybe to target 4 to the weekly close, and that's a scalp trade. And if it does go wider, because we're below the mid range, its potential from the weekly open, I'm going to be watching this. Is that do we hold it and reclaim the 25% of the macro range, and then potentially come back to here? Because the moment it does, if it holds above the weekly open, I'm cutting the trade. I'm going to cut the trade here because I'm like, all right, then it's a potential play that it can come to here, right? I can re-enter if we start breaking down. So if price does this, goes back up, and if it start, let it do its thing, come back here, and if we start breaking down, I can re-enter. I'm like, all right, then we're going to go back to the weekly open, right? Why? Because we're below the mid range of Monday's range, and then I'm looking to play this. Bring this over here. This there, right? Then I'm looking to play this, right? Come back to weekly open, target 1, target 2 off this macro range low, and then looking for target 3. That's it. And that's my trade. And that's the short that I'm looking for. That's the shorting scenario right here. And what all we've done with this is a deviation of the mid-range, and we're actually forcing, in reality, that's actually the high, that's the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It could do that. It could well do that, okay? That's it. That's if it breaks down here. Or if it decides to break down, let's do this again. I'm going to do this a bit more in depth. I should have done that first, actually, to be honest. That was a bit stupid. Never mind. Let's bring this over here. Let's do this. Right. Let's take this off there. Or if price decides to do this, comes here, bounces off this high, this block over here, takes that Monday's high. The moment it starts breaking down, especially below here, this is now a play for me to enter. Stop loss above the high over here, or whatever the wick was. If it does a stop run, for example, if it does something like this, comes out and then start breaking down, right? This will then be my confirmation to play lower, back to this, and I'm just playing it all the way back to this, literally just that. And then what it is, that's target 1, because we got to mid-range at 25%, target 2, target 3, target 4, target 5. That's what it is. And that's all the play. That's the bearish play. Because we missed the bullish play. The bullish play was here like freaking 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Because once we reclaim there, we can start saying, yeah, take out this high over here and potentially come up to here and then potentially come to the here. That's the bullish play, but we missed it, right? So now we're gonna start looking at for what can we do. Now, what is the bullish play in terms of Ethereum, right? If Ethereum does this, the confirmation, I'll be more comfortable not to play up here to go up there, because if price comes down, if we have a deeper pullback and start holding, then I'd be like, all right, you know what? We hold it. That's target 1. We can start again target 2 off this. See if we get to Monday's high, and if we can actually hold above it, then we can start playing target 3, target 4. Does that make sense? From this target 3, target 4. And all I'm doing is I'm playing, the confirmation for me to enter the trade is if we get above this and we hold support here. Why? Because we've got the macro range of this play here and we're above the mid-range. The mid-range, it comes down here where the arrow is. Does that make sense? That's the bullish play. I'll be much more confident to play the game, right? Because at any moment, because it all comes down to, do we hold the weekly open and hold the Monday's mid-range? If we do that, that's the confirmation to go up higher. Especially this area here is full on confirmation we've got high. Okay, now if you're like, you know what, I want to be a bit more safe and I want to be a bit more careful, how do I enter a trade? How do I enter a trade to actually be more bullish, right? I'm gonna yeah, so then I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna watch how Monday's range holds. If we get above it, take out this high over here, for example, start holding, get above this block here, this to me is a play going back to this range high over there. And then that's a play, that's a scalp play going up high. Does that make sense? And that's all it is, the preparation plan. Fuck. There we go. And that is the preparation plan. Then the question next will be, do we finally break above this SR? I know this is all on the 1 hour and the 5 minutes, right? Do we finally break above the SR, get above, hold it, take out this high, find support, and off we go. And if we do, this is your confirmation to get higher. And that's what it is. You're playing in between this range here, playing this range here. The breakout play is above when we get above this range. And that's what it is. That's Ethereum. Does that make sense there, guys? Right. And then we got ETH BTC. ETH BTC is looking good though, to be honest. I have entered into some alts. I have started buying alts when we entered around here, because we took out these highs there. For me it was took out these highs and it's bullish, and in actual fact it's let's have a look here, it's this range over here, range high, oops, it's lower. So at the moment we get a step back into this range, if we hold above it, that's your confirmation. Let's go up higher to this 25%, let's go down to 50%. My clear invalidations over here. If we break down and find resistance, I'll cut my losses on my alts, because we're going to take out this low and potentially come to retest the 0.42 level. What is the 0.42 level? It is a 2-year consolidation actually of this. That's another range that we're playing here. Alright, can you guys see this? Range high, range low, and all we've done consolidated here for 2 years during the bear market. That's a deviation. It's a deviation. That was the 2020 December. Then we start smashing above and going a lot more higher. I mean, ideally, I can see us coming back here, but for the time being, as long as we hold, let me just remove this. Yeah, as long as we, fuck off, 1 hour. Right, as long as we hold above here, right, this range low, I'm quite happy to take this long and play the move as we go. So price can come back down here, not a problem, and this is just a consolidation of the range, and all it is just a retest of the range low, and let's go higher, going to 25%, going to 50%. That's all it is. Okay, so that's my Ethereum view. So yeah, deviation. I see. Yeah, he's my teacher, man. He's the guy. He's the man. You know, he really is the man. But yeah, what else? GMT. Asgard's been banging on this GMT. You know, let me do this GMT for you. I hope you're here, brother. If you freaking left, you're a pain in the backside. I'm messing. Alright, cool. So GMT. What's going on with GMT? As I'm saying, what do you reckon about? Yeah, I'm going to talk Bitcoin dominance in a moment as well. That's another important thing. Shout out to everyone, man, for being here. I really appreciate that. 45 people in the chat. Smash the likes, everybody, and inshallah you guys can learn something as well. So let's look at GMT. Monthly looks kind of shit. I mean, we're taking out this low here, which is good. I'm gonna make that as purple. All right. That's my monthly level. Weekly, yeah, we reclaimed it, so it's looking all right. Weekly, we're taking out, well, we've stepped back into it actually from last week, so that's good. We're taking out last week's high, so basically what's potentially talking about to me, we are on this range here, around this range here. That's perfect. So, with this orange, you can see why I'm saying it, that we were in this range, because the week before we took out this week's low, and then the last week we're taking out that week's high. So we're stuck in this range here, okay? Let's have a look, 1 day. So 1 day, I'm going to just narrow it down off this, alright? So now the question is, because we've taken out this high over here, to me, if we start breaking down, we're going to do this mid-range, potentially we see if we actually get back to the monthly low, and see if we can reclaim we need to reclaim the 0.86 level. Let's call it 0.90, yeah, the 90 cent level. Reclaim it, then we can start playing back to range higher, which is at $1.06. Okay, the confirmation for the play of higher prices, if we get above it and break it and start holding, and then I'll be like, all right, cool. You know what? I'm on long GRT target 1. I'd say up this low here. Put this target 1 will be here. Looking for potentially target 2 of another SR there. That's an SR. How's an SR? That low is shanked it. Resistance, it's all resistance here. So if we come back to here to 0.60 cents, right? I'm looking potentially that's a resistance level to break down, or if we break up higher, Bob Junko, let's go high. So yeah, so I'll be looking at that level here for GMT. But where would I be wrong? If we come back down to the mid-range, find resistance, especially if we lose this level here, then we can say level 1 there. Invalidation for this whole long will be the moment we start losing this, and then we're going to go a lot more lower. That's GMT really. So it was all hinged off what happens with Ethereum, to be honest. If Ethereum BTC comes back to this level and this level, I don't see why not with GMT can't go up to, sorry, from here to go to this level and this level, right? And then from there we'll see what happens. Do we go hold above it, and then this will be the next set of levels to go to, and that's the next set of targets, and we'll work from there. I think that's I mean, like, if you do a range itself, right, from there to there, yeah, look at this level I was showing you, mid-range is right there, and then that's the target, so we'll be around where the 25%, look how the 25% works actually, so it is pretty significant play. Yeah, it's Binance. I mean, do we have some GMT USDT or USDT? Where did it first was on? Because we have more data. You can't. Or was it literally this month, this year? Because all we've done, if you look at it, if we go to Binance GMT USDT, now we've got more data on Binance. Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, that's my view on GMT in terms of a high time frame and seeing what happens there, and we'll monitor it as it is. The levels are marked there for you. Do keep an eye on it as well. It's gonna be beneficial for yourself as well. So let me just remove all that. Yeah, that's it. Cool. What else? Anyone got any alts you want me to look at as well? So I'm short from 90 cents. That's right. I think that's right. I'd say targeting over here. I mean, if I were to narrow it down, let's have a look. 4 hours. Let's have a look. So what's causing the? Okay, so on the 4 hours, I can see this. Where is rectangle? There we go. This is the block that's causing the problem, because you can see, right? And I do think there's potential we can actually go a little bit higher, right? Reason being is that this block here is causing resistance, and that was a deviation. It's a stop run, and it's come back into it. The fact that we come back into it is a short to me. I mean, potentially we can actually come back here, bounce off there, and then if we start doing this, this is the bounce on the low. Confirmation for the play is if we get below 93 cents, then I can say target 1, target 2, target 3, right? And then see we go to target 4 over here, and we're going back to this play on this area here. That's consolidation, and we bounce off that, and that looks like that's consolidation, breakout, retest, see we go back up for expansion. Okay, that's GMT for me. So Ram is asking, Bastion's asking for MATIC. Actually, you know what, MATIC, that's a good point. I did that MATIC yesterday. I didn't take the trade, but it was pretty perfect actually. It was a really sweet trade actually, if you ask me. I'll just run it down quickly with MATIC. Maninda, I love you too, man. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate the love there. So yeah, literally this was the plan yesterday, and it freaking worked out really well. I mean, we was doing at the time, I think it was about 10 or whatever time was, but the confirmation for the low was this here. So you see this bounce here? Once we get back below this bounce, right? So it would have been a sweet play, to be honest. I mean, look, even if you play it level to level, let's have a look. If I were to short this position there, from let's just say here, stop loss over here, and then target level to level itself. That's a 1.45 bar trade, to be honest. That's a banging trade, and we bounce off what? We bounce off this consolidate, this highs over here. So you see this SR there? That's an SR. See? What is this SR? Let me show you. See it there? So resistance, get back below it, get a smash above it, and then all we've done is retest it, come back up. So really, you could have actually expanded this trade off quite well. I mean, I think I said yesterday like range low, but if the moment we start holding up here, right? Dude, I should do the fucking trade, man, because this would have been a 4.5 bar trade. I mean, even if I cut it off here, it's a 3 hour trade, motherfucker. Anyway, happens. We you know, I mark plans, I mark trades for the people and stuff like that, and for everyone else, and then I don't take the trade. And you know, like if you did take it, congratulations, it would have been a perfect one as well. So yeah, so what we're doing here for ADA, we've got a few things got to work out. So we come back to range low. Come back to this retest of this high here, SR, so it's all perfectly fine, and we've held support, which means to me we'll potentially come back to here and maybe come up to here, play level to level, but we start looking at what's going on. Now we start working out what the fuck is going on, right? So we've got a range bound environment that happened yesterday, so we can see this low here to this high there. This candle itself was a range bound environment, right? You can see, but deviation, support, deviation, get back down below it, and then we come back, smash above it, and we're in this range again, right? Then from the range itself, this high is an SR. As you can see, this high itself is resistance, smashed above it, support will be a lot more high. Okay, now how do I jump on the trade if I want to jump on the trade? Okay, all I gotta do is literally look at this. So this high, Control Z, this high itself, right? Let's make it black. Get back above it, right? This is bullish market structure, because all we're doing is going upwards and onwards, right? So get above it, right? Then I can start saying that's my trigger, right? I said target 1 here, and target 2. I'll look at this bit here. Do this rectangle there and there, right? Then that's target 1. Let's brush again. Yeah, target 1, and I'll start looking for target 2 here, right? Then I'll see what happens. Do we start rejecting off it and break down? The moment we start breaking down, I'm like, I cut the trade and I go a lot more lower, because we can come back to retest this, or well, retest off this high, and then maybe retest off this and see if we step back into this range. Or do we do this, right? Do we come back into this, but we shank above it, start holding it and retest? See this retest here? Let's retest there. We can retest off this again. And then I'm literally just doing this. So if I take this off, playing it for the next set of targets there. That's target. So I said that's target 1, that's target 2. This will be target 3. And then we'll see if we break down, cut the trade. If we reclaim, do we hold above it? Then I say next set of trades to target 4, right? And that's it. And what is that? That is the mid-range. See, resistance. I'm expecting resistance here. Do we smash above it? We'll figure it out after when the time comes. That's all it is. If I wanted to trade it as a bearish play for MATIC, how do I do it? Let me show you. Well, we've got this now. I'm going to start zooming into this one. So if I remove all this shit here. Right, so if I remove all this. So, does it stop, run, break down, hold above it? Now I'm going to start looking and say, you know what, motherfucker? Let me zoom into you in the 5 minutes, see what's going on. I don't really like it in the 5 minutes. I'll probably go on the 1 minute now. And this way it gets a bit dangerous, you know. Like, be careful. So, I'm using the 1 minute, but use this as your own learning curve, okay? So, rectangle, this is the last high over here, and it's causing us some problems there. Okay, you see that? And now, brush, so resistance, we'll come back in, stop, run, and then we'll come back down below it, and then now we start, if we find resistance, break down. For me, I enter here, stop loss over here, off the blue box, playing it back to the range high, then we'll see, just see, because you see this here, we've got all these voids over here, there's this gap over there, it's inefficiency, whatever you want to call it. If we break down, right, into this range, and then you see this here, I'll probably use this one here, find resistance up there, that's my confirmation of us stepping back into the range to play back lower, so target 1, and then potentially target 2, and if we do break down, target 3, and then target 4, and see how it goes there. Because you've got to ask yourself, if we come back into this range here, you've got to ask yourself this, what the fuck are you doing back in this range? You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And that's the bearish play for MATIC. If I were to scalp trade it or day trade it, it could evolve into a day trade, alright? So that's that there. But yeah, you can see it's breaking down there. So quickly, what's Ethereum doing? Ethereum seems to be breaking down. 5 minutes. Well, we marked out the plans, but no, sorry. Yeah, we marked out the plans, and I was telling you that we're looking for, if we get below this here, then we can start playing it down to this here, and then this, and then whatnot. Alright, so the plan was done for Ethereum. What else am I getting? I'm getting BNB. Alright, let's have a look at BNB. The BNB, I'm gonna do this one, and do your thoughts for the upcoming UFC card this weekend. Bro, easy takes out thingy. Gerard. It takes him out. I think it's an easy fight. In my opinion, I think Gerard shouldn't be there. I don't think he's on a whole different ball game in Adesanya. He's so slick. Like, that guy is just the perfect species in terms of what a fighter is. He's got fucking length like a motherfucker, like a centipede, that guy is. And the dude is like he's a kickboxer as well, and he's got that length, and he uses the length really well, but he's got power too at the same time. And I think Gerard itself, he's an explosive guy, and I think he will get tired in round 2. I think it's a knockout for easy for round 2. Max Holloway versus what's it? What's that guy? The Volkanovski. That's gonna be a sick fight. I think Volkanovski wins there. In my opinion, I'm Team Volkanovski there. It's a really interesting one. I think that's probably my favorite fight of the game. But let me focus on this because I need to end this quite soon. We're going on for an hour and 25 minutes. Fuck, man. So let's just, I'll read this quite quickly actually. So what we got for Ethereum, BNB, let's zoom out. What have we got for levels and shit? Oh yeah, here we go. Boom, actually that was perfect. I haven't looked at it in a while, but yeah. So let me remove all this stuff. Right, so BNB is a bit of a tricky one, okay? Because BNB, you gotta look at it this way, right? So we've got two sets of things, right? There's a range high here, range low, this August. This is all a range bound environment. This is a deviation of the range. This has come down, and this is the tricky thing, right? So the fact that we're taking out this low here, to me, is like, okay, two things. We need to monitor how this happens. Do we hold above it and then break this high and go up higher? Then I can say target 1 there and target 2 for August's low. And the question is this a deviation or is this a breakdown? If it's a deviation, we'll step back into it and hold above it and let's go to target 1 and target 2, right? Or if it's a breakdown, or if it's just a retest, all we're going to do is break down here, get below this low over here, find resistance, come over here, break down, take out this low here, confirmation of here, and let's go lower. Alright, and then we start targeting these over here, this high here, this consolidation of here, the high there, potentially this, and looking to go down to $40, $41. So that's BNB. It's a very tricky one as well, in my opinion. It's really hard to play. That's on the daily. If I were to go down the hourly, what we got here? Let's have a look at the hourly. I mean, if I were to long it, right, how would I play this? So I've got SR from this. Use this one? Yeah. Yeah, I'll use this one. I've got SR from that, right? So what is this SR? It is the down candle over here, and price is coming back. I mean, to be fair, I could probably narrow it differently, to be honest. Probably narrow it differently. I'll probably use this low over here. Yeah, I'll use this low here. I think this bit tells me more. Because you can see here, this is giving me more information. Why? Resistance, resistance, deviation, get back below it, resistance, we'll get above it, support, 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 support. So we're supporting it, which is all good, right? Which is good. Now, if we want to trade this, right, how do we trade that? So we've got an SR level here. Now we need to start figuring out how do we long them, how do we short. We got a range bound environment from here, let's say this high here to this low here. What are we doing here? And you can see, looks to me we're coming back to the mid-range. Now the question is, do we hold the mid-range? If we hold it, let's go back to target 1 and then let's go to target 2. Or do we lose the mid-range and let's go back to target 1, target 2 and probably target 3. Let's see what happens. Do we take out this low here? So that's the BNB trade, to be honest, really. But if we get above, so if we get above and hold it, right? I'll say, yeah, let's go back to target 1 over here, which is from this low there. And then looking to extend to go higher back into this consolidation. This is a consolidation over here. You see this consolidation there? So then it'll be like back into this area here. And then from there we'll work out what happens there. Because if we break down at any moment and find resistance, I've got the trade. But if we hold it above and hold it, let's go back to these areas here. That's the breakout plan for BNB. Alright. So look, BCH, Bitcoin Cash. Are you serious? I don't think I'm gonna do that shit. BCH USDT. Dude, who's looking at Bitcoin Cash still? This is a dead out coin if you ask me. Come on, bro. Really? Really? You're Bitcoin Cash? S-San is actually looking at Bitcoin Cash. This is fucked. I mean, look. Let's do it. Where would I be happy to get into it? This is an SR play. What's so important about it? You can see here is a deviation of the SR. And then we've got this area here. Come out support. And then we've lost it here. So we have to play level to level. So as we know, that's an SR play. If I was to play this game, let's have a look. right? It's a range band environment over here. Let's have a look. Can we narrow this range down? I think I can. Let me just do this. Let's do that there. Leave this target here because that would be a target there. So yeah, so we're using this low here to this high here. Or should I use this low here? Yeah, I'll probably use this low here and this high there. Okay, cool. You can see it's mid-range. Mid-range is actually causing choppiness there. To be honest, I wouldn't trade it. The volume looks kind of shit. I mean, if we break above it, we can go back to mid-range, but really hold above mid-range. Then I can say target 1, target 2. Mid-range will come about $119. Target 1 is about $125. Target 2 will be $130, right? And then the breakout place, if we break above it and hold it, then I'll be like, alright, cool. This area here will be target 1. That area here will be target 1, which is approximately $147, $148. That'll be target 1. Get above it and hold. Then I say back to the SR level, and the SR level comes to $172. Okay, that's BCH. Right, I'm gonna call it a day in a moment as well, because we've been going on for like an hour and a half. That's a very, very long freaking time. That's the longest I've ever done in terms of stream wise. Looking at Bitcoin dominance quickly. BTC dominance, where is it? Is this it? Yeah. So range band play on the daily. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go open this cigarette. What the shit here, innit? 46 people here, man. Appreciate you guys all still here. Shout us, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It's your boy Dainks. You know how we fucking do. Right, so let's have a look. Right, so this is the range band play in terms of Bitcoin dominance, which is interesting though, because look, that's the high, and that's the low. Support, deviation, come down, support, deviation. Mid range is telling me a story. Support, resistance. We get back above it, all the support, get to mid range high. We reject off the range high, and we're below the mid range. So ideally, let me just remove that. Ideally, right? So if we start narrowing it down on 4 hours, for example, right? You can see this, right? So we got up to here, right? We lost this level here, and we shanked it down to mid range. Alls didn't move. That's the thing. They didn't move strongly to this strong drop here, which is what it is. What can you do now? But I'll be bearish as long as we find this. I mean, look, price is now finding resistance off this 4 hour. Now, I don't scalp off this. You can't really scalp off this, right? You gotta look at it this way, right? So this is another range bound play. See, I mean, to me, it looks like we potentially could do this, right? We can come back into the range, hold the support, and then we can go back to the mid range and find the mid range of this here. The question next is, do we break down and then lose from the mid range at around 44%? I mean, the macro mid range is at 43. Let's call it 43.96, and then going back to play to 43.53%. That's that. If we do this right, to me, it looks to me that we're gonna come back down here, this low here, lose this level there, and let's go down lower. Let's play it down. Fuck off. Why is this coming out? Let's play it back down 25% of the range, and then potentially to range low. 25% of the range comes down at 41.81, and range low is at 39.67%. That's what I'll be looking for. I mean, like, you can say liquidity, but it's different. It's different there. But we'd like to see these lows taken out. I mean, that's an equal low right here. Right, you can't see that. There we go. So there, that's an equal low. You see that? I mean, I'd like to have these equal lows be taken out. It'd be perfect. And then coming back down to, I mean, it can come up to here, to this area here, this consolidation over here. Why? This console, well, fuck, you can't really see it actually. Let me just put this up there. So, price can literally do this as it bounces down, right? This consolidation over here, price come down, find support. If we reclaim this and then go back up there, and then you start looking to cut the trades on your alts. So, as long as Bitcoin dominance start breaking down, including your and Ethereum BTC is pushing up, we got move to go up. All right. So that's that there. Total 2. I said about total 2 in it. Fuck. Oh yeah, I deleted a fucking line by accident the other day. So what was it? My range low was here. Yeah, I think this was my range low, I believe, yeah. That's my range low. Put that as blue. Alright, now, what's important about this is this, right? So if I'm going to squeeze up there, so you guys can see. What's important is this, right? So you see previous all-time high, just like Bitcoin, right? But this one, it found support off it, and it broke out. Now we're coming back into it as a retest now. As long as this holds, I say target 1 is over there, right? Well, target 1's off here, and target 2 is here. It's just, it looks a lot to me like the macro play of what you call it? Of Bitcoin. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, macro play on Bitcoin, go back to Dainks Corner episode 5, and it will tell you. I've done the whole explanation there. So that's the thing is with TOTAL2. The moment we reclaim this level here, Control Z, Control Z, Z. The moment we reclaim here, right? That's another range here. Then we can start saying breakout, hold, target 1 for the 25% of the range. Then we go to target 2. Then we see if we can get to target 3 at mid range, and then from there we'll see what happens. And if this happens, right, I mean we're coming back to 1 trillion. So we're looking at for a 2x on the market, on the total cap, including Bitcoin. So we're looking for a 2x there. I mean I don't see why it can't be possible at the same time, but it all comes down to what happens over here at this range low. Ideally, a retest of this low here will do, which comes down to around 600. Yeah, it's about an 80 billion in the market cap. So that's it for me, guys. I know you guys have asked a bunch of alts there, like Ape and FTM and NIA. I do apologize for that. I'm not going to actually do that right now. We have done this stream for an hour and 36 minutes. I'm going to call it a day because I do need to start working as well. So appreciate that. But we will do that going into the next one. So if you jump onto the next stream tomorrow and ask me again, I'm more than happy to jump on there and do that. I'll you know give other people more chances as well to actually to do it. Shall we do it? Alright, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do one more. FTM or NIA or Ape. Guys, say it right now. Give me options. I'll do one more and I'll call it a day. Ape, any more votes? Just delete all this in the meantime while you guys voting. So Ram you can't give me 2 votes. You can't. Alright, so what we got? We got Ape for 1, we got FTM, we got 1, NIA, no, so Ape is 2, NIA we got 2. Oh, 2 each. Okay, someone's gonna be a deciding vote. Who's here? Next one is the deciding vote. So we've still got Ape, FTM and NIA. Last one. You guys, man. I love you guys so much, so. NIA. Alright, let's do NIA. We're going for NIA. Khalil. Fuck it, we'll do Ape and NIA. Let's do it. Oh man, you guys. Alright, Ape and NIA. Let's go NIA first, right? And then we're gonna go to Ape. So NIA USDT, what's going on? I ain't tried this at all. Fuck, Alright, let's have a look. So let's go on a monthly. Let's see what's going on. So this is not looking good. So we're taking out. Last month's low is here. I'm gonna mark out all these levels. Make that purple because that's monthly. And then let's go on the weekly. Oh yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Education as well with NIA, right? This is a top-down analysis. A top-down analysis is basically I'm working up from higher time frame and I'm working my way down, all right? And I'm looking for lows and highs and what's happened in terms of market reaction. Okay, so looking at this, right? So you implement everything together, right? Yeah, we're doing Ape next, man. We're doing Ape next, right? So what I'm doing is I'm doing this low over here, right? Because that's last month's low, because we lost it. So that's a reaction over there. So if price were to come back up and bounce, I'm looking for this low to cause a bit of a reaction. So if I'm longing, profit taking will be here, right? Does that make sense? The second thing is that look, price has gone up and it's come back down. Where's it come back down and what's happening right now? Where's it bouncing off from? You look for the same principle, right? The last low that's in the market up. Does it tell me a story? Yes, it fucking does. So does that make sense already? I've already narrowed it down, and I can see that right now we're closing 2 days, and Ape is looking good. Oh, sorry, Nia's looking good. Nia's looking good. Too much Ape here, man. Fucking hell. Nia's looking good. Why? Because we're above this blue box right there. So as long as we close above the blue box in 2 days' time, we're good to go. We can go higher, targeting to minimum to $4.67. All right. The high on this one is $3.65. Okay, and we're at $3.69. Okay, interesting numbers. But yeah, so that's the weekly, monthly. Let's go on the weekly and look at refining this and see what we can got here. I mean, this is the last on the weekly. We didn't come up here. All we've got here is we've now got pretty much a range going on this weekly here. What do I mean by this range? All right, see this high and this low here. What's this low coming to? It comes in at $2.875. Okay. What's important about that? Basically, what it is that you can see that we've taken out last week's high. Where's my brush? Brush is here. Last week's high once and twice. So this is all resistance. Fuck. This is all resistance, right? From last week's high. What's last week's high? It comes down to around. Let's go on the daily. It comes down to fuck off. It comes down to $3.875. Okay, which means to me that if we come back into this range, you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing back in this range, isn't it? So, but you gotta start looking for a few things now. Number one, right? So we know on the daily, we can do Monday's range again. You can literally do Monday's range of this, there. Let's go to the blue box, and the low on this one here comes down to $3 and no, 632. 632. Sorry. Cool, capiche? Understand? Now let's go on the 1 hour and we can start refining what the fuck is going on, and we start playing a trade. Right, so we're seeing that we've lost that mid range. We shrank above it. We've taken out Monday's low, just like Ethereum is doing the same thing like Ethereum BTC. Really, taking out Monday's low, we've reclaimed into it. Okay, let's go on 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes will give me more picture clearance there. So the fact that we're taking out Monday's low, but the thing is at the same time, we're now breaking down. Bringing down this mid range. Why? Because we've got this block here that's acting as resistance. So where's the brush again? Come back into it. If you retest, breaks down, right? And I'll be like, you know what? Target 1, back into this. Well, target 1 from here and target 2 here. Then we start seeing it to be break down and lose this level here, and then start taking out this liquidity over here and liquidity over here. And what it is, we're now back into the, well, we're in this range anyway, right? So we're focusing the range high, right, over here, and the mid range over here, okay? That's what we're focusing on. Then if we do that, if we start losing Monday's low, we'll take out these lows, we'll take out today's lows, and start going down lower, and that'll be my next set of targets. So target 1, target 2, target 3, I'd say target 3 is here, right? Target 4, target 5, done. And that's the trade in, and that's the short-in scenario. The bullish scenario for Nia is if we do this. Okay, so using Monday's range, we look at, do we reclaim, hold above it. Once we hold above, like, I mean, you can enter here, stop loss below here. Well, I'd say stop loss below the deviation of this blue box there. The moment we hold the mid range, we can start going back into this area here. This is another block over here. Let's target 1, target 2, and then we get a hold above it. Go for target 3 for the range high, for Monday's high, because we've taken out Monday's low. Ideally, we'd like to see take out Monday's high. What happens next? We'll see what happens next. That's the day trade plan. If we were to look at more of a opportunity to buy and play, right, then I'd be looking at this, right? If I just remove this for a second, right? If we get back above, so I probably would use this block over here. So let me just put this over here. From this candle here. What is this candle? I'll show you. It's the last upside. It's the market back lower. And there. if we do this, something like this, I'll show you. Get back above and hold this. This is my confirmation. I'll be looking to go to target 1 over here, target 1, taking out these highs as target 2, target 3, and looking to potentially go back to monthly with that monthly low there. And that's the trade there. And if we get up, and you can see the resistance over here, looking for a resistance there, breaks down, got the trade. But if for whatever reason we decide to actually come back up and hold and reclaim, let's go and play a lot more higher. So that's Nia for you. One more of Ape. I'm going to call it a day. So Ape is an interesting one, I think. Let's have a look. Daily. Fucking hell, man. Ape got wrecked in the ass, isn't it? You're welcome, man. It's all good, Yardi. So weekly. It's 12 o'clock as well. Jeez, lunchtime. Alright then, so let's have a look what we got here. Monthly. Alright then, so monthly is interesting, right? So monthly, what do? We're taking out last month low, and we'll look at the close above it, which is good, which is interesting. I remember we're bullish on ETH BTC, so I'm expecting price to go higher, but we can still look at more swing plays and more day trades and whatnot, okay? So going on the weekly. Weekly wise, what we're doing. I like to see the weekly close above this blue line here, purple line, at $5.17. Then there we can say, yeah, we can go up, playing, potentially take out all these highs over there, and probably play up to there. I mean, there's a 2x play there, to about $11 really. Why not? All right, so let's just work this out now. So the weekly, we've taken out last week's high. I'll probably use last week's range as well. Approximately here. Looking at the daily, what's going on over here? So today we have taken out last week's high. Okay. I want to see us do something like this. I mean, we've got SRs now, so let's just place these SRs as we come along. That's an SR right here. Place that black. Why? Because you see that as support. This is all support. Then we shank it, resistance over here, and we sell off. Okay. So ideally, after daily, this is also another block that price can come back into, and then either can reject and see if we do this, or do we get back up and hold above it, or does it reject, retest off this range over here, come back up, and then go a lot more higher. Sorry, I'm actually speaking quite gibberish here. I'm freaking fatigued from talking, man. One second. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys are killing me here, man. An hour and 47 minutes, man. This is a long ass stream. Let's see. Alright, let me have a sip of water and narrow it down a bit more tighter, a bit more cleaner. So the bullish play for this, right, for example, is if I do a rectangle, this is the last high, this is the market back down lower, right? So this is what could happen, right? So there's a brush, and if I just move this over here in the center, and you guys can see what's going on. Cool. So price can come back up, hold above it. If we hold above it, we take out this high here, take out this high there, this high here, all this support, target 1. We'll see what happens. Then things can happen. There's a few scenarios. Either it breaks down, and if it breaks down, I cut the trade, because then I can actually short it with the stop loss over here, and then going back to range high, that'd be my target 1. And if we step back into the range, then you know how it is, target 2, target 3, and then we see we can go back to target 4, target 5. All right, but that's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is that we can actually from here range bound into this block, get above, hold it. The moment we start holding it, right, this is my trigger to enter, and I know then I start looking for the SR, the next SR, which will be, no, why is this opening up? Screw you. Yeah, the next SR would be here. So then I'll be targeting this level over here at comes around like $7.21. And then we'll see from there. If we hold above it and go up higher, playing it to the next level, which would be around here at around $8. Okay, and then vice versa. That's it. That's it for me, guys, man. I'm gonna call it a day. It's I'm fucking tired, man. Fucking hell. I appreciate you guys. Got love for all of you guys. Smash the likes. Thank you so much for actually attending the show. Hopefully tomorrow I'll actually be here again, and we're gonna actually do some more on the day trades and whatnot. So yeah, marked out the scenarios for everyone. So what's Bitcoin doing at the moment? So let's just have a look at Bitcoin before I actually head off. So yeah, so Bitcoin now has come down to, you see this? Bitcoin's actually bounced off here, off that high I showed you, that SR. So if we reclaim them a weekly open, you can start looking for longs, stop loss below here. Because if we come back and below the mid-range, start breaking down, right, cut the trade. So that's Bitcoin there. Ethereum at the same time, what's Ethereum doing? Yeah, Ethereum's still coming down lower. Potentially, we'll see how we react off this and how we react over here mid-range. But yeah, plan's all there. It's all there for you guys. So check it out. Keep an eye on it as well. Hopefully you've learned a lot of things for your own good. And yeah, and then I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be here again at 10:15 AM BST, British Summer Time, and we'll go from it again. All right, next set of trades we'll mark out there. Take care, guys. Catch you guys.